Hello, friends. I'm tired today, but I'm good. I don't know about you guys. I figured I'd check in, kind of talk to you a little bit, um, just kind of see what's going on, and then I want to talk to you a little bit about mom fails because I feel like it needs to be said. The other night I posted. Let me see. I don't remember what night it was. The other night I posted on here talking about, the fact that my daughter and I were not at peace in any way, shape, or form. That she and I had had a spat and I had failed miserably as a mom. And I wanted to kind of expand upon that because I think that um, the term mom fail definitely has its own connotations, and what we call a mom fail may not be a mom fail. So my daughter was going through some stuff, and instead of communicating about it, she was just angry and she was snappy, um and I didn't handle it well. I dropped the ball. I mean, let's just be real. I was frustrated with her for her attitude. I was frustrated with her for the way she handled it, and I got snippy and I got short with her, and what started as a frustrating situation turned quickly into a power play. And from there was really no redeeming the situation. It just kind of spiraled. And if I could go back and step into that situation again and kind of change my approach, I think that there's a few things that I would have done. First of all, she told me, she's like, I just want to go to my room. I just want to be alone. I just want to go to my room. And for some reason in my mom brain, I was not having that idea. I wanted her in the common area. I wanted her to listen. Since she wouldn't listen to me about other things, she was going to listen to me about that. And so I refused to let her go in her room. And I wish that I wouldn't have done that. I wish I would have given her some cool down time. I wish I would have let her kind of process what she was going through. And maybe, okay, look, you get X amount of time in your room to just chill, but then you and I are going to catch back up and talk. I wish I would have done that. I wish that I would have been more sensitive to her feelings, because in that situation, I didn't even think about the fact that she might be feeling something or dealing with something. In that moment, all I saw was the disrespect. And the disrespect screamed so loud that I didn't hear much else. And I wish that in that moment, I would have remembered, even though she's almost as tall as me now, and she talks to me like, tough kid. There's big hurts under there, and she's still young. And I wish that I would have taken the time to kind of look at her and remember that there's big hurts underneath some of these big words and these big feelings of hers. And so I think that's one of the things that I wish I would have changed for sure, is just respecting the fact that, that there were big feelings there, and, talking to her more about those, because I just assumed we were doing the angsty, angry teenager phase, and it didn't even occur to me. Sorry, people are messaging my phone. It didn't even occur to me to stop and think, is she going through something? And she was. I mean, she was grieving the loss of a family member, and, we had a big award ceremony that she got to go to, and, going to that really reminded her of the hole left in her heart, because my aunt wasn't there, and she was supposed to be there. That was something special that she was supposed to see. And, had I been willing to give her that time to process, and had I remembered that there were some big feelings that could have been in play, we could have redeemed the situation earlier on. And I think that another thing that I wish that I would have done, and maybe this will help you out as mom, I wish that I would have remembered, like, listen, adding punishment after punishment isn't going to fix the situation. There needs to be a boundary set. There needs to be a separation so that both parties can find their peace and figure out what's going to happen next. And I wish that I would have been willing to say, okay, you go to your room, I'm going to go to mine, we're going to take some time, we're going to process for 5-10 minutes, and then we're going to come back to each other and we'll deal with it from there. Because I feel like that would have saved a lot of hurt feelings, and that would have saved a lot of frustration. The one thing that I will say I'm thankful happened in that situation is that we were able to find peace. And the way that we found peace was by me letting her do exactly what she asked for and giving her some space. And, you know, then I was able to go back in and say, listen, can I just sit with you for a little while? And if you want to talk, talk. And if you don't, well, I'm just here. And I think as moms, we're so quick to try and fix, we forget to just be there. Just to be in that moment, just to be a supporter, and just to let them know they're loved without any condition. And, you know, that was the one thing that really repaired the brokenness there, was just the presence of, okay, I'm not asking for anything from you. I'm just here to be here for you. So, I mean, that was a big help for us, and we were able to kind of work through those emotions. But I'll tell you this, that's only going to work if you start building foundation with relationship. If you're not building that relationship where you guys can talk about feelings openly, then that's not going to necessarily be your resolution. Now, let's talk mom fails for a minute, because there were multiple situations there where I could have just given up and said I was done and said that I failed and just owned that failure. You know, I could have said, this is the mom I am, and this is just what was handed down to me, and this is just who I'm going to be, and so we're just going to be angry. And, you know, that's not a healthy place to be. And so what I want to challenge you to do when you get stuck in a, you know, I'm a failure as a mom, I can't do this, I'm not enough. First of all, none of us are enough. This is crazy hard. Parenting wasn't meant to be easy. Anybody who tells you it is easy hasn't gotten to the hard part or is fronting big time, because, sorry, my phone was glitching. Anybody who, you know, tells you that it's easy is fronting. They're pretending to be something they're not, because parenting is, it's stretching, and it's taking things out of you that you didn't know you had to give. But give yourself grace in that, and understand that you're not ever going to be perfect at it, and that's okay. And then the other thing is, don't be afraid to own your failures, if you want to call it a failure. I call it a learning experience. You know, don't be afraid to own that moment where maybe it wasn't perfect and you didn't have it all together. You know, tell your kids, hey, I'm flawed. Your mom does not have this all together. Your mom cannot do this all the time. But I will love you big and I will try. So many moms feel the need to put on an air with their kids, to pretend that they are perfect and they have it all together. And here's the problem with super mom. If you are super mom for your kids, they think they need to be super mom to theirs. And they're going to spend the whole time tired, and they're going to spend the whole time chasing a standard they can't live. Let your children see that you're flawed. Let them see that you're not perfect, and own those failures, and apologize where you need to. I had to do some apologies, and one of the things that my daughter would say to me was, it's okay. And I had to tell her, no, it's not okay. What I did was not okay. What I did was not fair to you. It was wrong, and I am sorry, and I'm asking for your forgiveness. Teach your children that being hurt by someone, even if it's someone they love, is not okay, and that they can forgive someone without making that action okay. And then don't be afraid to follow through on consequences, because the fact of the matter is that you still need to teach behavior, and you still need to teach, you know, certain parts of their character still need molded. And so it's okay to leave a consequence in place, as long as you weren't being extreme and acting out of anger. You know, keep things reasonable. Keep in mind that, you know, at the end of the day, you would want to parent your children in the way that you would want to be treated. And so often we look at our kids and we forget that they're tiny people who need big love and big respect, just the same as anybody else does. And so we leverage harsh punishments and high standards on them that we would never live up to ourselves. So I would say, you know, give them grace, give yourself grace. But other than that, I mean, let me know, what do you guys do on the mom fail days? What do you do when it gets hard and you feel like, hey, I just can't do this? What gets you through it? And if something doesn't, let me know, because I'd love to encourage you, and I'd love to talk to you more about that. Other than that, I'm going to go have an awesome Thursday. I hope you guys too. Have a good one.